What's going on? What's going on, people? We back again with another one. I'm pretty much doing a dual recording, streaming on this side, and I'm doing a pre-recorded right here. I want to talk about this issue, Nolan Wells update. Pretty much, Al Sharpton is being sued for defamation of character, and it's kind of interesting when you think about it, because those boys, they pretty much put this lawsuit out there, and now it's like I don't really get exactly what's going on when you really think about it, because if they supposed to be his friends, right? If they supposed to be his friends, and Al is supposed to be working with his mom to find the answers to what happened to him, why would the friends be so focused on filing lawsuits? Now, don't get me wrong, Al is an ambulance chaser, similar to Ben Crump, as you all know, right? And again, you're going to see me look this way and this way because I'm doing two recordings at the same time. I actually found a good spot in the park to kind of get my work done. How everybody doing out there? Hope everybody good. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to upload the recorded version in my video section. This is pretty much a vertical stream, so I'm doing basically the same video, but two different formats. There's a lot of things that Al Sharpton said that can be considered defamation. But will it work? Will it stick? I don't think so. Now here's why. Even though Al Sharpton is a grifter, a race hustler, we get it. But he's been in the game for a long time. These attorneys that are trying to sue, they're younger guys. They don't really know the game like Al. I don't think it's going to be successful. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Crump, Al, they know and can anticipate the what can happen. I'm pretty sure with the process of this entire case going into it, they had to think about the possibilities of defamation. I'm pretty sure they thought of that already. It's not like they walked into this thing blindly and didn't know exactly what's going on. I'm pretty sure that they thought about the possibility that they would be targeted. I mean, if you think about it, why is it that out of all the grifters, out of all the people that are lying, how he was served papers? Now, I'm going to talk about it a little later because he responded, right? I'm going to go through the documents. It's a lot of stuff. They sent him a whole PDF file. Like, it's a lot of stuff. But it's like they're targeting him. And it's kind of strange. Now, remember, when it comes to defamation, it's a very difficult thing to prove. Like, a lot of people on social media, they get mad at me. They be like, oh, I'm slandering them. That's defamation. Man. And they be threatening to sue. Good luck with that. It's very difficult to do. You just can't sue somebody for defamation. You got to really understand what that means. And if you're a content creator, everybody have every right to criticize you and critique the things that you actually do. So when you get into this kind of business, you got to be prepared for people talking. Now, of course, you got people that they're going to lie. They're going to spread rumors, gossip. They're going to say anything. Remember, it's all about clicks and views with a lot of people. So with this case, if these boys were innocent from the beginning, why would they be worried about what people are saying? You know, I feel that they're just trying to get paid too. Because when you think about it, when you sue for defamation, the bottom line is you're trying to get money. You know, you're trying to make money off the situation. So it's one of them things where it's almost like Al is being targeted in order to silence him. But I don't think that's going to work because, again, even though I'm not a fan of Al Sharpton, looking at this thing from an experience standpoint, he's more experienced in this situation. He's more experienced, and it's just something that I don't think is going to work out for him. You know, it's not. Meaning, the attorney guy, whatever his name is, Cox something. I'm not sure how many attorneys the boys got. I'm not sure how many. But I don't think that it's going to work with Al. I don't think it's going to work at all. You know, because he's experienced. So basically, what his defense is going to look at is the attorney is basically trying to intimidate him to stop with the Nolan Wells case. But what this may end up doing, it may end up backfiring. It may end up opening up a can of worms where they may end up learning more about what these boys are doing that can get them more information, possibly. You know, I'm not sure if this camera is recording. The screen went out. I don't want to touch it because I don't have it on a stand. I'm just resting it on my battery right there. If this recording here is successful, then I'll do more of my content like this. What's going on? Forever Studios. Shout out to everybody coming in. Be sure to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. All right. I'm trying to figure out why the YouTubers haven't been served papers yet. I mean, when you think about it, they didn't serve Willie D yet. I mean, he's a grifter. He been lying. He been lying more than Al when you think about it. Are we back, guys? Because I saw like the screen jumped. I don't know if we back. Put a 1 if we back. Let me know. I mean, do they even know that people like Willie D is out here lying, manipulating? How come he didn't get served with papers? Haven't y'all figured that out? Like, unless it is more difficult to go after a YouTuber. Because it really is, when you really think about it. There's certain protections that you have as an influencer that a lot of people don't understand. Not fully protected, but there's certain protections. But Willie D been lying like crazy. So in my mind, I'm like, he should have been at the top of the list when it comes to this defamation stuff. And what about Crump? Did Crump get served? Or is this just a personal issue that they got with Al? I don't know. It's crazy, man. I'm actually glad I'm recording with this one. For some strange reason, I don't even know why, but I technically really didn't have it planned, but I was like, hey, since I'm doing a stream, let me record it, because sometimes when I'm doing these live streams, the live stream just go out, my phone overheat, but at least like if I got this one as a backup, I can still post it because it picks up the audio pretty good. Yeah, but this defamation lawsuit against Al, I think that's like a distraction. I really believe, guys, more and more that the boys know something about what happened to Nolan Wells. I really believe they do. I believe that they know what may have happened. I can't really blame them for his death. I can't accuse them of murder, but I do believe that they know something. And I believe that even though I don't like Crump, I don't like Al Sharpton, they're persistent in their efforts of pushing the envelope with this case. And I believe that the boys are getting more nervous. I believe the boys are getting more nervous, and they just feel like they're going to get caught somehow, some way. So I don't trust them, especially Warren. It's just something about Warren. I don't trust nothing he say. When we first got that interview with on Brandon Tatum's page, I thought it was a good thing. I figure, okay, he's interviewing the boys. Let's hear their story. But the more I review those tapes and I listen to what they had to say, it just sounds like they just created an alibi to cover themselves from getting caught. Not necessarily for the murder of Nolan Wells, but I guess caught possibly tampering with evidence, possibly hiding information that can lead to an arrest or prosecution. One of them type of things. Because when you look at the story and you really put it together, right? The boys knew that Nolan didn't have no phone. They knew, at least from what we heard on social media, they claimed that he stayed behind with a girl. But peep the game. Warren was the only one who notified the Coast Guard. And I'm talking about Warren. Warren was the only one that notified the Coast Guard, and he's the only one that contacted the mother. All the other friends, they didn't even do anything. That's a red flag, guys, because it just goes to show that all of these people that were claiming to be his friends, they were not his friends, guys. Because if they were, they would all have a concern for why he ain't home yet. So I'm trying to figure out, how is it that Warren was the only one that had Nolan on his mind? It doesn't necessarily mean because he's a good friend. It could mean that he know what happened. And because he know what happened, that's bothering him. It's sort of like his conscience. His conscience is bothering him. And it's to the point where it's like, man, I got to do something. I got to say something. His body is out there. Because he's the only one who contacted the mom. But why would he contact the mom and then ask the mom, did you hear from Nolan? Why would he say that if he know Nolan don't got his phone? That's because his nerves was getting the best of him. He was nervous, guys. His nerves was getting the best of him. And he knew he had to put it out there that, hey, I contacted the Coast Guard. I contacted his mom. What that does, that creates a paper trail. And it's sort of like make him look good in front of the public, because it's like, hey, at least he did the right thing. At least he was looking out for his friend. But at the same time, even though that is a good thing to do, we got to dig deeper into why none of his other friends did the same thing. Because what that's telling me is all his other friends don't even care about him. So that opens up a can of worms, because based on what Brandon Tatum was saying, he was claiming that all of these guys is Nolan's best friend. So if they're all his best friend, shouldn't all his best friends be notifying his mom? Shouldn't all his best friends be contacting her? Contacting the stepdad? This doesn't make sense, guys. That's why I don't believe their story. Their story does. I don't believe it. I believe that they just created this narrative as an alibi to hide from being prosecuted, investigated, and so on and so forth. So now they want to silence Al Sharpton, but it's not going to work. It's going to open up a can of worms that can possibly get these boys in more trouble. Because the thing that folks have to understand out there in the public is this. Of course, they've been dragging this case on forever and ever, but let's look at the facts. Why is it that on that very day, July 4th, with all of those boats, all those people that were out there, why is it that nobody else that was out there have come forward and say, hey, I saw Nolan. Oh, the melanated kid. Oh yeah, he was over here. Oh yeah, we saw him. Nobody don't know nothing. It's like nobody was there but these boys. Now we know that there were people there because there's evidence of that. You see boats, you see people having a good time. So we know other people were there, but the question is, why nobody's coming forward? Why nobody's coming forward to say, hey, we got footage of Nolan. You gonna tell me nobody don't got nothing? So what was everybody doing the whole time? Like, what was everybody doing on that island? Because I don't want to hear that everybody's phones was just sitting on a boat the whole time. Some people going, listen, guys, you got devices that you can buy on Amazon where you can put like a rope or some sort of chain around your neck, and it has a pouch that you could put your phone in, and it's waterproof. You can lock it and your phone is in there waterproof, and you can literally be in the water doing your thing and you don't have to worry about your phone getting damaged. So I don't want to hear that everybody just had their phones on the boat and nobody was on the island shooting videos, having fun, taking pictures, selfies, because it'll be a boring event. Like nobody was taking photos. Where's all the other people videos? If it's the 4th of July and everybody's celebrating, shouldn't we see videos and photos all over the place? Shouldn't TikTok, Instagram be filled with images, videos, where we could kind of put together a timeline of events? So the real question is, did Nolan die on the island itself? Or was he on a boat and died that way and then dumped into the water? Because it's not making sense. If he was on that island, somebody had to see him. Let's stop playing. That's like I'm at the park right now. Let's say there's hundreds of people at this park. There's no way you can just be dead and laying on the ground right there and nobody didn't see you. Somebody had to see you. Even when I'm here by myself, I could see if somebody's in the park. First of all, you got cars parked. You might see people walking dogs, doing something. Your senses will tell you somebody's near. So how is it that nobody during that day recognized that Nolan was at the island? And why is it that the friends are the only ones being nervous right now? Again, I am not saying that Nolan friends murdered him, because I don't got no evidence. So I can't falsely accuse them and just say, okay, these guys, they killed them. But what I can do is I could use different cases to substantiate my points for the court of public opinion so that we can all put the puzzle together. Let's look at the situation with, what's this guy? Daniel Irvin case. The black dude who was with his white friends. What happened? He drowned. And I'm not making this a race issue. I'm just using this as a point to substantiate my claims that just because somebody's a friend doesn't mean that they won't tamper with evidence. In the case of Daniel Irvin, it is said that his friends basically tampered with evidence, got rid of his cell phone, text messages, clothing, in order to not get in trouble because they got scared. And those were his friends. So what that's telling me is that Nolan can have friends and those friends can still tamper with evidence. Which means you just can't trust everybody. You see what I'm saying? You can't trust everybody, guys. Then now, look at the situation with Shanquella Robinson. Y'all remember that story? Y'all remember that case? What happened? She went out overseas with her friends, right? She went overseas with her friends, and what happened to her? She ended up dead. And she was with her friends. So I want you guys to think about that. She went out there with her friends. She ended up getting unalive. And then what happened? There was this big investigation, and all her friends act like they don't know what's going on. They all had different stories. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to show you guys is there's a possibility, hear me out, there is a possibility that his friends may have tampered with evidence, may have omitted part of the story out of the narrative. At Adam, you cannot say that those kids didn't kill him because you were not there. Just like I cannot say that they killed them because I don't got evidence. We don't know what they did. You just can't say they didn't do nothing. You can't say that because you don't know them and you were not there. At no point in this video did you hear me say that his friends killed him. I never said that. But what I can say is that they may know something. They may know something that we don't know. Because watch this, guys. Everybody started to leave Horn Island early. And remember, guys, Tristan was on Brandon Tatum's page, the interview, and he said that it was him that was in a fight. Where's the video of the fight? Somebody's always recording, guys. Come on now. Somebody is always recording. How do we know he wasn't in a fight with Nolan? I'm just putting it out there. How do we know that Tristan wasn't in a fight with Nolan? Who he was in a fight with? Think about it. Shout out to Marissa for the support, the $20 support. Appreciate you sponsoring the work. You said, my gut says Warren's friend who was yelling at Nolan. That sounds like why Nolan wouldn't get back on the boat. Someone was arguing because of alcohol. Things went left and everyone chose silence. I'm telling you, that could be it too. And remember, guys, when I initially was doing the investigation, I told you, why was Warren's friend yelling at Nolan to get on the effing boat? Why would he be saying get on the effing boat? There's no need to talk to nobody like that. That is like we're at the park right now and you're about to leave and you're telling me get in the effing car. Why would you talk to me like that? The only reason why you would talk to me like that is because I'm not listening, which means I am under the influence of alcohol, possibly drugs, and my mind is not where it needs to be. So you're constantly telling me, bro, let's get in the car. Bro, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't want to go, bro. Yo, get in the car, bro. Man, come on, man. I'm here chilling, man. Yo, get in the effing car. Do you see my point now, guys? So, if Warren's friend is basically cussing him out, that's a sign that Nolan was drunk, guys. Remember, it was hot. They were drinking. He most likely wasn't eating no food. He could have been dehydrated. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. But like you said, Marissa, there could have been an altercation that took place. Maybe Nolan, when the guy said get on the effing boat, maybe Nolan said, who the hell you talking to? And words started to exchange. Remember, these are young men. Egos get in. And something could have happened. Somebody probably punched Nolan in the face. Or had him on the boat, pushed him over the boat. Could have been something like that. And he went back in the water and they just kind of left and then swing back around to come get him, but couldn't find him. Sometimes we have you guys, you have to think outside the box. You have to think outside the box because that is how you're able to come to the truth. Sometimes you have friends doing weirdo stuff and they push their friend out the boat, not realizing that push and the way they did it could have did something to the dude. And when he fell in the water, his mind is not right. He can't swim properly. And then they drive off and then they swing back around and like, yo, where Nolan at? Yo, what the hell? Yo, where he at? Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, where is Nolan, bro? Yo, let's circle back. Yo, why you pushed him off the boat? Bro, we're gonna have to just stick together on this one, y'all. We're gonna have to stick together. But you the one that pushed them. Bro, if we don't stick together, we all going down, bro. They're gonna ask us a lot of questions. So what we gonna do, we're gonna basically say that he was with Katie. Can we all agree? He was with Katie. That's what happened. And it is what it is. Because why is it that they made that story and claimed that he was with Katie, but then Katie said, oh, Nolan said that he's going back on the boat with his friends. Y'all remember that? Okay, so how is it that Katie's story switched up and contradicts the boy's story? Come on now. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. They said that he was hanging with Katie. Katie says Nolan went back to the boat. So what's the story? Like, who's telling the truth? And how come, watch this, how come nobody have interviewed Katie yet? Because Katie was basically blamed by Warren. If you all think about it, Warren threw Katie under the bus during the interview with Brandon Tatum. He threw her under the bus because they didn't have to mention her name. They didn't have to do that. They threw her under the bus because they were trying to get the blame off of them. That's what they did, guys. I'm telling you. Because they called her out by name. They said, oh, Nolan was with Katie. They could have said Nolan was with some girl, but they said Nolan was with Katie. They threw her name under the bus. So what that's going to do, it takes the blame off of them, because now when you look at the timeline, it's like, oh, he was with Katie. We left Horn Island. So it's like, hey, why y'all looking at us? Talk to Katie. So if anything, we need to get Katie to start telling us what's really going on. Because maybe Katie didn't want to go along with the narrative that the boys put out. She probably said, you know what? I'm not lying. I'm not lying for y'all. And that is why Warren felt guilty to call Nolan's mother. Why he didn't just call Katie? Because remember, I forgot who was the one that said it. I'm not sure if it was Tristan or Warren. I forgot who said it. But it was all on Brandon Tatum's page. One of those boys said that they asked Katie, when was the last time you seen Nolan? You know what she said? The last time she heard or seen Nolan was when Warren's friend told him to get on the effing boat. So if that's the last time she's seen Nolan, why Warren said that Nolan was with Katie? It don't make sense, bro. None of it makes sense. Somebody's lying, y'all. You know? You said, and who went and got his phone? Javon's mother. So that doesn't look crazy. Remember, it was Nolan's mother who said that her friend or somebody went to go get the phone. So I don't see how that would look crazy, to be honest. I mean, if somebody went to go get the phone, I don't see that as looking crazy. What's crazy is Warren asking the mother, did you hear from Nolan? When he know Nolan don't got his phone. That's crazy. That looks crazy. That don't even make any sense. And there have been a lot of lies that have been put out there, guys. Like where the mother was accusing the boys of possibly tampering with Nolan's phone. That's a lie. Because they were claiming that, oh, something may have been deleted from the phone. Nothing was deleted from his phone, guys. Nothing. That's a lie. Nothing was deleted from his phone. They put that story out there to try to get everybody to focus on the boys tampering with the phone and whatnot. But nobody touched the phone. Because nobody got the password. You know? And if something was deleted from the phone, why don't they just give the phone to the investigators so the investigators could do their job? Why don't they give the phone to the feds so the feds can investigate the phone? Look how long it's been, guys. You would have thought that the family would have gave the phone to the feds so that they could do their thing and investigate the phone. They didn't even do that yet. What they should be investigating is everybody's phone. Not just his phone. All of the boys' phones should be investigated at this point. Katie's phone should be investigated. All of their phones should be investigated. Because as I stated many times, if I know I didn't do nothing, if I know I'm innocent, I'm not even doing no interviews. I would not even go on Brandon Tatum's page to do an interview to tell a story. I'm not saying nothing because I know I didn't do nothing. Because once I come out there and I give my story, y'all gonna attack me. You understand what I'm saying? If I know I was at Horn Island and we left Nolan behind, fam, I'm not saying nothing. Because if I say anything, I'm gonna get in trouble. Y'all gonna start make videos. Oh, wow, he said this. And now everything I say is gonna get twisted, turned, and put into something else. So I'd rather just exercise my rights. You have the right to remain silent. That's what I'm gonna do. If you got evidence that I committed a crime, then bring forth the evidence. But if I know I didn't do nothing, I'm not gonna say nothing. Because that's gonna only dig me deeper into something that I don't wanna be in. Yeah, Christine is holding on to the phone because maybe the phone holds other information. Like Nolan drinking, Nolan possibly using drugs, something, I don't know. Something going on. Again, guys, if you're in the stream, be sure to hit the like button. When it's on a vertical, you got to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. If you guys are watching the replay on the uploaded version, which is on this camera here, you already know how to give it a thumbs up. But they're suing Al Sharpton, guys. They're suing him. It's funny because it's not really going to work. It's like, it don't even make any sense. I'm going to cover his public statement that he made. I'm going to cover that later. We're going to do a live stream. I'm going to cover that and see exactly what he's planning on doing, because he basically was laughing at the situation. So we're going to see exactly what's going on with that, because I want to hear what his attorney is going to say in regards to that situation. I was hoping that they would have content creators that would be getting sued, but it's looked like they're going after Al. I was hoping that they had a list of content creators, because there's a lot of them that been lying that I would like to see on that defamation lawsuit, you know, a lot of them. But for some reason, I guess they don't want to go after them. They want to go after Al Sharpton, you know. But it is what it is, guys. Let me see what y'all saying. Why are those boys being treated like the president of the country? Because they may know something, guys. At first, I thought, well, Christine and them is targeting them. They made it a race issue. You get what I'm saying? That's what I thought. But the more I look at this, the more I'm like, listen, if these boys are innocent, why are they showing their face in the public? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why are they talking to everybody? And now they're using the situation to file a defamation lawsuit now? Come on, man. They raising money. I don't even know how much money they raised on the Give, Send, Go. I don't even know how much money they raised yet, but they probably already hit 200,000 already. Do anybody know? Could somebody go check? I can't check right now. I'm streaming. How much money they made so far? How much money they raised on the Give, Send, Go? Anybody know? You got to be careful about that list that people are showing on other channels, because it's a fake list. If you didn't get it from the attorney, then it's fake. If you didn't get the list from the actual attorney, then it's fake. If you got it from these YouTubers, all of these YouTubers, all they do is clickbait you. That's all they do. It's all about clicks and views for them. So they'll make up a list and gaslight the viewers in order to get the monetization, the engagement, so they can make money. If there is a list, it needs to be on an official website for the attorney. Meaning whoever the attorneys are for the boys, it would be on their website or on X, on Instagram, something like that. So, how much money did the boys raise so far? Not Christine. The boys. How much money did the boys raise? That's what I want to know. Because the last time I checked, it was like 100 and something thousand. So I don't know how much money they raised so far. You know? You got to go to Give, Send, Go and find it out. Again, when it comes to a list, ladies and gentlemen, if you're getting your list from a YouTuber, it's fake. Did you go to an official website for the attorney of the boys? If you didn't do that, it's fake. How could a YouTuber have a list? Come on, guys, you gotta be smart. Stop listening to these YouTubers. When you're dealing with legalities and an actual defamation case, you need to go to the source, not a YouTuber. You don't go to a YouTuber and look for a list. And if you were to go to a YouTuber, did the YouTuber get the list from an official website for the attorney? Because if not, it's fake. Right? Christine had enough time and resources to independently extract info off the phone. She did, but I don't think that she cares about that, guys. Because she's hiding something too. First of all, she's a race hustler. Christine is using her son's death for personal gain. She's exploiting Nolan. Literally, we're about to go on 3 months, guys. 3 months with this case. And she's still out there playing and acting like she's crying. I'm not buying it. And here's this, guys. Here's another fun fact that a lot of folks that are viewing, you may not know this. Christine is not a black woman. She's not, guys. I'm telling you. She's not a black woman, guys. She's a Filipino woman. And maybe most of you are new to my platform. You don't really know the magnitude of my work, the level of work that I've done. I've produced probably 70 videos in regards to this case, and I have a playlist on the platform. To get to know exactly what's going on, you're going to have to watch the playlist to look at all the information I brought out. But I did a full research about her background, her family tree, all of that stuff. She is not a so-called black woman. She is a Filipino woman. Nolan is also a Filipino. Mr. Wansley, the man that you see Christine with in all her videos, he is the stepdaddy of Nolan Wells. He is not the biological father, guys. On the day when they found out that Nolan was dead, Christine decided to turn this into a race issue. So, in her diabolical mind, she published the image of Nolan with the other 3, I think it was 3, right? Yeah, the other 3 boys. She published the image with those 3 boys with their face so that the world can see that Nolan was last seen with 3 white boys. That created a chain reaction of a racial issue. These bugs are coming around me. Let me get up for a second so this bug can leave. Trying to shake off this damn bug, bro. Okay, I think he left already. That bug is pretty much the devil. Because I'm starting to cook. The mother is Filipino, guys. She's Filipino. Here come the devil again. It's flying around. Some of y'all don't believe in stuff like that, but when you're dealing with topics like this and bugs start bugging you, those be spirits, man, trying to distract me from my flow. But I'm never gonna forget it. What Christine did, she recognized that Nolan appears to be a black young man, but really he just has melanated skin. Filipinos have melanated skin, guys. You have Filipinos that are literally dark, right? So nobody don't know who Nolan's biological father is. Nobody don't know. But what we do know is that the mother turned this into a race issue. Number one, Mississippi. Number 2, Nolan was last seen with 3 white boys. Number 3, he was left behind. Number 4, he had no phone. When you put all of that together, it is the perfect mixture for rage baiting and race hustling. So what did she do? She hires Ben Crump, a civil rights attorney. What civil rights were violated? If you know anything about a civil rights attorney, guys, they're not trying to prosecute somebody to put them in prison. Their job is to try to get the family money. That's their job. Their job is to try to see if they could get the family as much money as they can. And as you can see, how much money did Christine and them get? Literally, almost $900,000. Plus, they got a free funeral, all expenses paid, of Tyler Perry. And Colin Kaepernick paid for the independent autopsy. So all in all, her GoFundMe is fraud, because if you go to the GoFundMe, it says that the GoFundMe is going to be used for the funeral expenses. But Tyler Perry paid for the funeral. So that GoFundMe is a fraud, guys. It's all fraud. She contacted Ben Crump because she knew Crump was going to turn this into a racial issue. And what it did, it divided Mississippi. So now Mississippi is divided because of this story. Now, of course, Mississippi has a pass. At the same time, we're in 2026. We're in a whole different time. But what these rage baiters and race hustlers love to do is they love to keep us divided by constantly focusing on race. And I made a video, you can check it out in my playlist, where I asked the question: if all of Nolan's friends were black, would we be having this conversation? Let's just be honest, guys. All of you in the live chat, all of you that are in the clouds that are watching this live, be honest with yourself. If all of Nolan's friends were black guys, would we be having this conversation? We won't be having this conversation because nobody would care. And watch this, guys. Would Ben Crump take the case if all of Nolan's friends were black? No. Ben Crump never comes around when there's black on black crime. There's no money to be made. Remember, Crump is an ambulance chaser. I don't like Ben Crump, and I don't like Al Sharpton. They don't speak for me, and they don't represent black people. All they focus on is getting money. That's all they care about. Will they win in the defamation suit against Al? I don't think that's going to work. Al is too smart when it comes to the system. That's why he's been around for so long. Even though I don't like Al, he been in the game for a long time. So this is not the first time somebody threatened him with lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? He's too connected for a defamation case to take him out. That's not going to work. Well, like I said, I don't like Al Sharpton. I'm not defending him. You know what I mean? I'm not defending him by any means necessary. I don't like the guy. You know? But what I'm trying to make you understand, because I'm fair and balanced, is he's well connected. He's well connected, guys. So he's going to have all kinds of attorneys that's representing him, they're not going to be able to touch him. And then he's able to use all that civil rights stuff. Guys, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, fam. It ain't going to work for, they're not going to get no money out of him. We still waiting for the autopsy. We are literally waiting for that autopsy and the toxicology results. I'm still waiting on where it is. Why are they taking so long, guys? What's taking them so long with the autopsy? Let's just put it out there. Let's just put the results out there so we can know what happened. Come on. Why are they waiting so long? You know why they're waiting so long? Because they know that autopsy, that autopsy opens up a can of worms. It's going to prove that Nolan was drinking, he was drunk, and possibly had drugs in his system. And if he had drugs in his system, they're going to want to investigate everybody that was at Horn Island now, because that means somebody gave him drugs. You know? I'm trying to figure out why Christine and them is not pushing for the autopsy to be released. Because we got the second autopsy, that independent autopsy, but it didn't really give us nothing. So why Christine and whatever the guy name is, Immore, how come they're not pushing for the autopsy to be released? How come? Or maybe they gave them the autopsy already. Maybe they gave them the results and they kept it private. Maybe they asked the family, look, we got the results. We're willing to show you. Do you want us to release it publicly? And they probably showed it to the parents already and kept it private. You said the autopsy has been presented to the grand jury. I don't care about that. It's not presented to us. We want to know. I don't care about no grand jury. I want to know about what went down so we can literally put the case together. It's not helping us if the grand jury got it. You know? Drugs and alcohol, fam. That's what I'm betting on. I'm betting on it had to be drugs and alcohol, fam. Something happened out there. Nolan could have been in a fight with Tristan. He could have been in a fight with Tristan. Who was Tristan fighting? Tristan told Brandon Tatum that he was in a fight. Okay, who he was fighting? Who he was fighting? Man, they covering up the whole thing, fam. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get up on out of here. I gotta go get me something to eat. All right. So y'all take care. I'm gonna get up on out of here, do my thing. I'm gonna upload the recorded version as well. It's gonna be in a wide angle rather than a vertical, and I'm gonna pretty much do my videos like this. I think this is cool. I think this is cool to do. So it is what it is. William says, bro, you're corny. Just another Officer Tatum on this channel. Your mama is horny. And when I get off, I'm going to go call her. Thanks for the view. But tell her I'm coming over. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Tell your mom I'm going to come over there and do my thing. Tell her make sure she puts some cocoa butter on her lips because she gonna need it. Tell her to put a lot of cocoa butter because I like when her lips is nice and moist. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, gang. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. I'm gonna be back on later with more content. Y'all stay safe out there, right? Peace. We out of here.